It's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, and it's time for
a Craig and Ryland Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome back to another review show right here on
Magic TV.
Exactly. We're back with another 5 tricks, and we're going to get straight into this week's review show. We're going to get straight into it with a brand new trick from Magic Live by Penguin Magic and Erik Casey. Let's get straight into it this week with the first trick. So first up, we've got POW from Erik Casey and Penguin Magic. So POW is kind of the unofficial sequel of Poker Test 2.0. Erik Portet, you did that where you show the 5 blank cards. Yeah, but do you remember you show the 5 blank? You show the 5 cards and you say remember the fronts and the backs, and then they turn blank or they get printed and they've got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is perfect oil and water. Not Poker
same sort of methodology as Poker Test 2.0, but framed as an oil and water. Now, when I was working at Magic Live on the Penguin booth, as well as demming Keymaster and Sharp and Gatekeeper and Capsize, I was also demming this, and me and Eric Tate were demming this on the Penguin booth. We sold out on day 3. Everybody was picking this up.
To ride sold out on day 3?
We sold out almost straight.
Not at Magic Live, at Magic
Circle Convention. You sold out in like one day, didn't you?
No, 3.
No, it was only a 1-day convention, right?
Oh yeah, it was.
So it sold out on the first day.
Oh!
But this sold out on day 3, but they bought a lot of these to Magic Live. Everybody.
They bought like 50 tickets to buy.
They bought a lot of these to Magic Live. Everybody was picking it up. As soon as I was demming it, it was selling straight away. And I'll tell you something as well. While I was in Vegas, I actually filmed the handling you're about to see for the project. Because when I watched the tutorial, it kind of explained how everything worked and it was all fine. And I came up with my own routine to dem it. And Penguin said, hey, that's a really nice routine. Can we film it for the project? Which they did. So when you buy this, you're going to get the routine on there that I actually perform here as well. Well as Eric's routine. Good. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. So if you've not seen it, I'm going to do a performance of it. This is POW. I don't know if this is by the time.
Was that not already a routine?
No, that was my routine for the thing.
What were they doing?
A lot of it was a lot shorter. It was like, hey, look, I've got 6 cards. They're mixed up. Now they've sorted themselves out. It was kind of that sort of thing. It was very quick. Well, I kind of made it more of a multi-phase type thing. So you made it so like if I do it this way and I snap, now this is sold, but this isn't. So if I snap this, now this is sold, but this side isn't. Yeah, I kind of extended this out and made it more long and boring, as you would say.
Yeah, long and boring.
Anyway, I want you to have a look at this. This is a performance of Perfect Oil and Water. I was going to say before Ryland interrupted, I don't know when this is hitting Penguin. By the time this video goes up, I've been reliably informed that it's going to be on the site. If not, keep checking Penguin. It'll be up in the next week or 2. But let's have a look at it. Perfect Oil and Water by Erik Casey. Okay, so I'm going to show you something with 6 cards. We've got 3 red cards, 3 black cards, and you can see they alternate red, black, red, black, red, black. Now, my job is to sort them out without actually physically sorting them out, so that there's a block of red and a block of black. Now, before I do that, I should tell you that the backs of these cards are red and blue, but there is a block of red, there is a block of blue. 3 red cards, 3 blue cards. Now, to sort these cards out, I just have to snap my fingers. Now, when I snap my fingers, that very second separates the cards. So now we've got black and we've got red. Now, that's a really good trick, but the problem with this trick is that when the cards sort themselves out, the backs of the cards mix up, right? Now, that's logical. The backs of the cards have to change because the faces are sorting themselves out. Now, I can fix this by snapping my fingers and sorting out the backs, but the problem with sorting out the backs is that the fronts are going to mix up. And it's a perpetual problem. I can sort out the fronts by snapping my fingers and sorting out the fronts, but the problem is the backs are going to end up getting mixed. So how do I fix it? Well, that's where you snap twice. Once, twice.
That wasn't really a snap.
Yeah, much better. You snap twice because when you do, now you've got the fronts and the backs sorted out. That's the fronts, that's the backs. And for any magicians that are watching this, that are thinking, they're split cards, I want you to see that every single card can be seen all the way through. And that is perfect oil and water. So there you go. That trick is amazing. I love this. I must have demmed it probably about 200, 300 times over Magic Live, and it always got a great reaction. And I was doing it in the House of Secrets, wasn't I? Like, I went straight from Magic Live to Blackpool. I was doing close-up before your show, and I was doing it in the close-up at the House of Secrets. And you always know when I really like a trick. If I put it straight into my close-up act, you know that that's something that I really believe in. I really believe in this trick. I think this is the best oil and water I've ever seen. I up until this point, I thought Josh Birch had the best gimmick to oil and water. I still think is amazing, but I think that this probably pips it a little bit. I love the fact that everything happens up here. So if you're performing to a banquet situation or in a bar or something like that, it's all up here, which is great. It's not down there. Also, it's an instant reset. There's lots of magical moments. It's very easy to see. It's very easy to follow. It's also very easy to perform. There's literally nothing to not like about this. Now, if you wanted to have them examined, you could use a Himba wallet. But in my experience performing this, nobody wants to examine it because you do the thing, it's over very, very quickly, and then you move on to something else. I know a lot of people don't like oil and water. I love oil and water as a plot, and I think that this is great.
But when you do it this way, it's even. Well, I mean, can you count this as an oil and water? Because they're separate.
No.
Well, do you go in them from normal to separate to separate to normal to normal to separate?
Yeah. It's happening back and forth again and again. It's so good.
How does oil and water separate and then mix together and separate again?
I don't know. They don't, but that's not important.
So how is this perfect oil and water?
It just is. Right, I'm going to give this 100%. What are you giving it?
Maybe it's oil and water that turned perfect and the other oil and water isn't perfect.
Just tell them the percentage. What are you giving it?
What's the percentage?
How many?
Oh, yeah, 95.
95%. I knew it. Yeah, as soon as he saw this, he said, I want to do it. You're going to film it for Instagram, aren't you? So 95%.
I already have, thank you.
Oh, yeah, you have. There you go. So 95% from Ryland.
At the black... Well, it wasn't in Blackpool. It wasn't in Preston. The little village house.
Yeah, you did. So 95% from Ryland. 100% from me. This is amazing. Let's move on with the next trick. So next up, we've got Who Bolted by the San Diego Magic Shop, Magic Shop San Diego, one of your favourite magic shops. And we've got Who Bolted.
Also
now this,
by a Kiko
yeah, from last week. Now, Who Bolted is their variation of a very old trick. Now, this trick recently got re-released a couple of years ago by Alakazam in their kids' magic range with the bolts in the bottle, and one bolt comes off. What magic shop?
They use it with like little colours, but with this, it's murder.
Yeah. So what Magic Shop San Diego have done and James Kellogg has done,
they've turned it into murder.
Yeah, they've turned it into like a Cluedo style presentation. So they've took that original premise
Cluedo's the Alakazam range.
Yeah. Well, they've took that original bolt trick and kind of brought a Cluedo presentation into it and just wrapped everything up in a very nice, pretty bow. And Ryland's going to perform this for you now. It was very pretty. Ryland's going to perform this for you now.
How do you know what it looks like?
Because I was checking.
Oh yeah, you invented the pretty bow because you made a pretty bow. Because you're the one that said it's a pretty bow, which means you invented the pretty bow. You invented that Pacific pretty bow.
We're going to have a look at the performance of Ryland performing this right now. So let's have a look at the performance of Who Bolted.
Right, there's been a murder.
There's been a murder?
Yeah.
Who died?
Mr. Farty Twinklepoo.
Mr. Farty Twinklepoo has died. First of all, he's probably died of shame because his name is so terrible. But okay, Farty Twinklepoo has died.
Mr. Farty Twinklepoo died. Yeah. Come on. And I'm a detective.
You're a school kid that does magic.
When I'm not doing magic and I take a break from magic and I'm not playing Zelda or football, I'm a detective for the police.
Oh, you work for the police as well as all of that. When do you find the time to do that with everything else you do?
Magic. I use spare time.
Okay.
And these are the people that worked with Mr. Farty Twinklepoo.
You can't even remember his name. The worst police officer in the world.
Mr. Farty Twinklepoo.
I thought you okay, Farty Twinklepoo. Okay.
Mr. Farty Twinklepoo.
Who are these people? You need to turn around because the camera's that way.
Yeah, we got Don Wells.
Who's Don Wells?
He worked with him.
He worked with him?
Yeah. Sneaky Pete.
Who's that?
He's his friend.
Okay.
And he's very sneaky.
Hence the name Sneaky Pete.
Mrs. Connors, his next door neighbour.
Okay, she looks a bit shifty. Wouldn't trust her.
And Maid Stars.
I'm guessing his maid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, his maid.
And who are they? It says evidence on the back.
Yeah, these are
The suspects.
suspects, yes. but they call them witnesses, but no, they're suspects.
So one of them killed Farty.
Yes. One of them killed Mr. Farty Twinklepoo.
Okay.
Anyway, these are the people that could have killed Mr. Farty Twinklepoo. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to mix them up like this and pick any one.
I'm mixing. You're not looking,
And
are you?
also, this is also evidence.
Oh, we're going to get to that in a minute, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll get to that. No.
Pick one.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one.
Now, by the way, as you can see, if you ever... Well, actually, put that back.
Yeah.
For a sec. As you can see, if you actually look at the fronts of them,
Yeah.
you can see they've all got different colours. Like Don Wells is red, Mrs. Connors is yellow, Maid Summer is blue and Sneaky Pete is black.
Yeah, I see
They've
that.
got different colours. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to give them a shuffle and do what you just did. Pick one.
Got one? Okay.
Got one. Now, don't show anyone.
What shall I do with these? Put them away?
Yeah.
You're not having them. You could sneak a peek.
Anyway, yeah, so this is the person you picked.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the evidence. This is some evidence.
Is that what it says? Evidence.
Evidence.
Okay.
To be opened by authorised personnel only. That's me.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm authorised personnel. Open up. Got it. Now, the people. Get them up. So, these are the different colours. Sneaky Pete.
Yeah. Maid.
Maid Summer.
Mrs.
Connors. And
The other guy.
Don. Was it Don? Don Wells?
Don Wells.
Don Wells, I don't know. So, one of them.
Why have they got bolts?
So, each one of them got a bolt from Mr. Farty Twinklepoo.
Okay.
Yeah?
Each one of them got a belt.
Bolt, yeah. Now, look, they've got different colours for the different cards. So, we have
Red.
red for, is it Rob or something? We have blue for Maid.
Yeah.
We put blue in.
Okay.
We have black for Sneaky Pete.
Yeah.
And we got yellow for Miss Connors.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we cover them all up. You put them back. You're not allowed to touch them.
Okay.
Only me. Now look, we got them in here.
Yeah.
This is what we do. We get them a little shake like this. This will tell me who did it.
Really?
It's very special. Look. Look, you see what I'm doing?
You're shaking the bottle.
Yeah. Shake the bottle like this, yeah. Like this, over and over again. And this is gonna tell me who did it, okay? Yeah.
Is it?
You do this, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me who did it, yeah. We just do a little bit more, yeah.
Okay.
Now look. Now what we do? You're not allowed to touch them still. So we take it out and we look who it is. Give them all that.
What?
Look. We'll show them in a sec. Sneaky Pete still got his on.
Yes, he has.
Sneaky Pete. Maid Summer still got hers on.
Yes.
Rob, someone.
Don West or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he still got his on. Now, he gave them each to one of them and made one of them a little bit loose. And the reason he did that is because he knew that person would do something a little bit naughty.
Really?
And if you look,
That was Mrs. Connors.
Mrs. Connors and her bolt has came off.
You're not telling me this is Mrs. Connors?
Now if we actually look at the evidence, we look and we see this is Miss Connors.
Didn't I say she looks shifty? I said she looks a bit shifty. I could be a detective. I knew it without shaking the bottle. I was like, she looks a bit shifty. All I had to do was just look at her and go, shifty. I knew it was her. I'm like a savant. So that is who bolted. Now,
Yes.
tell me everything. I mean, the tutorial's really good. It's only about 20 minutes long. It's got a full performance to camera. It explains everything. The props are really well made. Now, I really struggled seeing the marks on the cards. But you didn't.
Yeah, no, I didn't. When he actually explained, I couldn't see them at first, but when he explained what they were, I saw them straight away.
Yeah. So you don't have a problem reading
Red,
the
yellow,
marks.
blue, black.
Yeah, I have a problem reading the marks. The cards are marked in a very
I bet
clever
you, if
way.
you actually saw where they were, you would see it straight away.
Very possibly. I just am really kind of rubbish with marks generally a lot of the time.
Yeah, but if I told you where they were, you would know exactly where they are.
Okay, I believe you. I just couldn't get it from the tutorial, but you could immediately. But yeah, you get the marked cards. You get the bottle is really nice with the evidence over the top and everything.
Only I can open it because I'm only person. No lies to it.
Of course, because you're a policeman. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
That's a made up presentation, by the way.
I know it is, of course.
You just said I'm a policeman.
I was joking. So here's the question for you. This doesn't seem like your sort of trick. Would you do this?
I might put it in my close up every so often.
So you might put it in your close-up case.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do it close up.
I might do it every so often.
Look, I think the one thing that you need to remember about this is I know some people are going to watch this review and go, oh, that's a really old trick. It's as old as the hills, you know. Oh, I wouldn't do this in
How would it be
close-up.
as old as the hills when people weren't there when hills were made?
That's how old they are. So,
But it wasn't invented then?
Exactly, it's very old. But
That doesn't make sense because if it was, how is it as old as the hills if it wasn't invented when the hills were invented?
it doesn't matter. It's a very old trick.
Get it?
But honestly, it's the old expression, what's old is new, right? This trick, even though it's very, very old,
What?
it's
How is old stuff new stuff? So if you eat the old fish, how does it become new fish?
Please, can you stop talking? Please, can you just stop
No,
talking?
but if you eat an old fish, how come it becomes new fish?
Please stop talking. Just stop.
How is an old fish new fish?
Stop talking.
So like if a grandma...
For the love of God, stop talking.
No, if a grandma was old, then how come she comes young?
It's an expression. It means that it's so old, people haven't seen it before, so you perform it,
So
and it's
people
like
never
new.
saw the fish before, but it's
Nothing
new now.
about fish. Nothing about fish. Fish do not factor into this at all.
Yes, they do, because it said what's old is new. So if an old...
There's no fish! There's no fish! There's no fish! There's no old woman! There's no fish! What we have is we have a very old trick that hasn't been done in a long time, so now it's new, and people haven't seen it before. It's a good trick. Give it the rating.
But if it's old, how is it new?
Give it a rating.
But if it's old, how is it
Just give the plumbing trick a rate. Tell them what you want to give it.
96.
90% from me, 96% from him. We're moving on.
But...
Shut up! So next up we have All Is Foreseen by Arthur Kurzweil, and I know we said last week that the trick that we reviewed was All Is Foreseen by Arthur Kurzweil. That was not. That was me getting my notes wrong. That was Think of One by Alan Kronzek. I'm very sorry, Alan. Take this as my public apology to you for calling your trick a trick created by somebody else. I very much apologise. Yes, I am very sorry. This is All Is Foreseen by Arthur Kurzweil, and it's a kind of a very easy trick. It's been marketed by Mia Yidid, by My Magic. This is another one that I saw at Magic Live.
No, if he hasn't watched this review show, he's going to be so mad.
Yeah, because he doesn't see my apology, but hopefully he'll be okay. Let's have a look at...
He'll be like, oh, I'm so excited to watch my... Oh my God, he's called it someone else. I'm going to go up to his house and punch him.
Let's have a look at a performance of this trick. Okay, right. Do you know the difference between choice, chance, and fate?
No.
No. So in other words, when you go through life,
Oh, yeah.
people think that like their life is guided in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
Some people believe that they make all of the choices and their life is determined by the choices that they make. Other people believe it's fate and what will be and you never know what's going to happen because there's like, you know, it's predetermined. You don't really have free will. All the decisions have already been made and you're just living that life out. And chance means that you kind of do have control over your own life, but it's chance and luck that guides you through life. And if you're successful or unsuccessful, that's down to luck and chance. What do you think? Because these are kind of scales, which kind of a lot of the time is the thing that depicts choice and chance and fate. And I've got three things. I've got here choice, I've got chance, and I've got fate. And I've got this really cool quote that I found. Everything is foreseen, yet free will is given. Which is kind of interesting. So I've got two questions for you. Do you believe in free will? Do you believe that you're in control of your own destiny? It's a bit of a heady question to ask a 10-year-old. Do you believe in free will? How do you feel your life's going to go? Is it down to the choices that you make? Is it all predetermined and there's nothing you can do about it? Or is it complete and total luck?
Luck.
You think it's luck? Because I'm going to have you pick one of these, and it's totally your choice which one you pick.
It's luck and chance.
It's chance.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
What if I told you that I knew that you would select chance?
No, you wouldn't.
What if I told you that I knew from the very beginning you would select chance?
Well, you wouldn't.
Because I said to you here, everything is foreseen, yet free will is given. Did you feel influenced at that point?
No.
Because what's really interesting is you pick chance. What I didn't tell you was on the back of this, it actually says, you will select chance. Maybe, Ryland, everything in life is predetermined. Okay, so I think anybody who's watching this review show will know how that trick worked.
Yeah.
They'll know that it's a
Because
version
we've done
of...
other tricks with the same.
they'll know it's a version of that very clever principle that's been used in a lot of mentalism. But all I can tell you
It's
is
a really good principle, though.
it's a great principle, and I always like to see new plots explored with this principle. And I very much like the props that are included with this. First of all, I love the hook of, hey, do you believe in choice or chance or fate? I think it's a really interesting line, especially if you're kind of doing more cerebral magic, where you're sitting down with people and you're kind of trying to draw them in. I think it's very interesting. I think that all of this sort of trick lives and dies by making sure that all of the ways that you can go with the trick make sense. And I think that each one of these makes complete and total sense. So, you know, in that regard, it's very, very good. I mean, you saw what the trick is. If you like it, there's no nasty surprises. The cards are laminated, which means that they're going to last a long time, even if you're doing it in a bar or a situation where beer might be dropped on them. You're gonna be absolutely fine with this. You're just going to wipe it off. It's a very inexpensive way of doing this principle in a way that allows you to talk.
What does inexpensive mean? Not expensive?
Yeah, not expensive. Yeah.
How much is it?
Cheap. I can't remember exactly. I think it's like $15-20, something like that. It's not very expensive. But it allows you to do this really cool opener, and I do think it's a very good opener, and I think it's a really interesting use of that principle. And as I say, I really love the hook with, hey, I just love the line. Do you believe that you've got free will, or do you believe that, like, everything is predetermined, or do you believe that it's luck? I mean, how do you... I think that's a really interesting line to bring for people. I can't imagine you ever doing this trick. I can't imagine it ever working for you until maybe until maybe you're older. But for me, I love this. I'm going to give this 90%. I think it's great. If you're looking for...
Yeah, I'm going to give this 79.
79. Best mark you can give it if you're not going to do it. As you would expect from me, everything's good. The tutorial's good. Everything's good. It's all great. If you like the principle and you want a new way of presenting that principle in a different way, you're not going to find anything wrong here. It's completely self-working. You can open up the trick and do it within 10 minutes of watching the tutorial, and it's just reliable and it's fun. So yeah, I mean, it's great. And again, I apologise to Alan for Think of One and calling Think of One this trick. I'm very sorry.
What do we do for him? What should we do for him?
I'll give him a big hug when I see him at a convention.
You mean it. That's mean.
Let's move on. We're going to move on with another trick now. Okay, so this is a new trick that you can get from SEO Magic. And I saw this at Magic Live. And immediately on seeing it, I was like, oh my gosh, I could see Ryland doing this in his show. And I bought it and brought it back for you. And just like last week, this is another trick that you literally put into your show that night. I met you at 11 o'clock.
Well, you didn't meet me at 11 o'clock. Because 11 o'clock I learned learning the sweep prediction. Because Haze was a really easy trick to learn. You taught me it you taught me it at the House of Secrets, actually.
I think I might have taught it you at the House of Secrets, actually, yeah.
Yeah, we got to the House of Secrets and I'm like, see if we can do this tonight. Because we're at the House of Secrets. It was like 6:30, half an hour before the show. You're like, well, I've got this trick. What you do is you open it up and then you spray it and it turns like that.
Yeah, but it's a great trick. I mean, it's a really interesting premise. I've got live performance of Ryland doing it here. It's a card trick. It's a card revelation.
It's not a card trick.
It's not a card
artwork trick.
It's an artwork trick. Let's have a look at a performance of it, and then once we've looked at the performance, we'll talk about the various different options and what we think of it.
Anyway, I've got a pack of cards here, and it's got all these different cards in, yeah? Now, what I want to do is I want to pick a card here. So, who wants to pick a card? Anyone want to pick a card?
You just say stop whenever you want. Oh, okay, guys. Just say stop whenever you want. There. That's your card. You got the card? You see it? Everyone see the card? The card? That's the card. I got the card, so I don't know where your card is. And I'll put it in the middle again, like that. Right, now, as I said, I'll draw a picture. Now, it's an easy bit to draw because it's not an easy card. The Ace of Diamonds, wasn't it? See the Ace of Diamonds? No. What do you mean, no? It's not the Ace of Diamonds. What do you mean it's not the Ace of Diamonds? It's not the Ace of Diamonds. You sure? Look at it. I've got some magic spray, so hopefully this might help. Do you think? I don't know. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. We'll give it a try, see if it works. Luckily, you can only get this if you're a magician. Emergency use only, luckily. This is emergency, right? You ready? Don't know if this will work. Should I do it?
Yeah. Just do it.
Right, ready? Right, ready, 2, 3. Is it Queen of Diamonds? There you go, the Queen of Diamonds. There you go.
So that's Haze, right?
Now, you said we're going to talk about what, if we think it's good. I think it's good.
I think it's great as well. I think that, you know, it was Di Vernon that said if you've got 1,000 different forces and one revelation, you've got one trick. If you've got 1,000 revelations and one force, you've got 1,000 tricks. Or some variation.
What? How does that make sense? If you've got 1,000...
No, right, listen. He's saying if you've got 1,000 different ways of forcing a card,
But there's one revelation.
but there's one revelation, you've only got one trick.
Yeah, 'cause
that's one
you
trick.
can force it.
But if you can only do one force, but you've got 1,000 different ways of revealing that force, like this might be one of them, ripping your t-shirt open and having the card on there, dress code, there's a million different ways to reveal a card, you've got 1,000 tricks. Yeah. So what I'm saying is it's always good to have another card.
If you've got
revelation.
1,000 revelations and you've got one force, you've got 1,000 tricks. Because
Yes.
if you force the card, then let's
You reveal it,
Let's
you're
say the only force you know is a ripple force.
Yeah.
You do the ripple force. You force that card. You
Yes.
can reveal that card in
Yes.
1,000 different ways. So there's 1,000 different tricks you can do with
Yes.
it.
Exactly.
But if you have one revelation and 1,000 forces, you know how to do 1,000 forces, but you've only got one revelation, so you can only do it once.
You can do
So
one trick. Exactly. And that's the point I was trying to make. And so it's always nice
It's
to
not
have.
one of your stupid grandma how is an old grandma turned to a new baby,
No, nothing to do with that.
or the old fish turned into a new fish,
Nothing to do with that either. So
or the trick being created when the hills were created, even though no people were alive.
yes, nothing to do with that either. Please stop talking. So here's the thing: it's a revelation of a card. However, there's two different versions of Haze you can get. The first version is what you just saw Ryland do.
You know, I've just realised.
Yeah.
You know Haze.
Mhm.
It's the same stuff as the stuff coming out the volcano in Tis the Kingdom.
Yeah, probably is actually.
It is. That's what Yunubu called it. He said it's Haze.
There we go. Can I finish?
Yeah.
So you've got the stage version that you saw Ryland do in the performance, which is basically him performing it on stage. I don't think we've run the performance footage yet, actually. Well,
We have.
Oh, have we? Yeah, we did.
Because after I said.
Yeah.
Now after that you said.
Yeah. You're right. So
You silly muppet.
that's the stage version. It's a really big pad, and literally it's activated by water.
How's
so you
that
get
big pad?
it's a big pad. You got a smaller version as well. I'll get to that in a
Oh
minute.
yeah, you got a little closer.
You've got the spray. The spray comes with it, right? And you saw Ryland using that, and it's
Like the
literally
spray
water
bottle.
activated. Yeah, you just put water into it, and you spray it, and when you spray it, it's going to turn that Ace of Diamonds into a Queen of Diamonds. Now, the only way to reset it is to wait for it to dry. It takes about a minute for it to dry, and once it's reset, you're ready to do it again. Now, you get a PDF link with a downloadable label, so you can print the label off and you can wrap it around the bottle and it says Magic Water on it. Now obviously we didn't have a printer in Blackpool, so in that performance we didn't do that.
I mean, we could have took the old Sweet Prediction with us and printed it off.
Yeah, we probably could have actually. Now, in terms of the close-up version, there is a smaller version of Haze. It's not designed to reveal a card though, it's designed to reveal a famous painting. So you get a smaller version of the pad, which will fit into a jacket pocket, and you get 4 photos. You've got very famous photos, you know, like the Mona Lisa, like photo versions of the most famous paintings of all time, and they're rough and smoothed. So you can show them all and have them touch one, have them take that picture, show a blank canvas, and then say, what was the picture? Or you can just say, concentrate on the picture, and you can spray the water, or you can get a spectator to spray the water. And as they do,
you
they're painting on the
can't let them
picture.
touch your magic water.
Well, you could, but you don't need to. You get
You're
them.
not allowed to make spectator. You're not allowed to make dead people touch magic water.
Fair enough.
It's magic water for
Well,
magicians
you
only.
spray it onto the pad, and when you do, it's going to activate whatever's inside the pad, and it's going to make that picture appear. So that's the close-up version. They don't do a card revelation for the close-up version, and they don't do a picture version for the stage
Although
version.
they could do.
Although they could do. I don't know why they haven't. I'm not too sure. But
Anyway, it's really good.
it's really good.
Really, really, really,
It-
really.
it's one of those tricks, and this is a bit of a cliched line, but I'm going to say it's one of those tricks that packs small, plays big, and always gets a great reaction.
Unless it's someone that knows how it works and then I know how it works.
Well, I love that moment where you're spraying the water and they see the card appear. I think that looks great.
Yeah, that's mad.
I think it looks really good. I think it would work really well in the kids show as well. I think it would work really well close up. I think it would work really well on stage. I'm a big fan of SEO. I think they've got some great material, and this is really good. So you can get it directly from
I think I
SEO
know
Magic.
what they've done.
What?
I think I know how it works.
Of course you do. You spray the water on it, it
No,
changes.
no. I think you know on the blank parts of the Queen of Diamonds, I think they put like a waterproof coating on that. So when you spray it, it's normal. So like when you spray it, the parts that's not covered in waterproof turns like grey.
I do. Don't know. And then it dries and it resets and goes back to normal.
Yeah, then all the paper that's not covered goes back to normal.
There you go. So what are you giving it? I'm giving it 98%.
99.
99% from Ryland, 98% from me. We've got one final review, which we're going to look at right now. Okay, so for the final trick today, we've got a trick from SEO Magic. It's over here.
I'm not going to say what it's called
It's
because I'll get in trouble.
It's called ESP. It's called ESP Ness by Lawrence Turner.
You nearly said the whole thing.
ESP Ness by Lawrence Turner. Over 18s only. Only over 18s can do this. So once again, obviously we're going to get Ryland to perform it on me. So I'm not going to say anything else. Here's Ryland performing ESP Ness to me.
I'm going to do some cold reading.
Okay, cold reading. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I've got some ESP symbols, which they make different. They mean your life's at different places. Like the circle means your life's fully complete, and there's no gaps in it.
I like to think my life is pretty complete. Yeah, happy with that one. Yeah.
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 Cross means you're at crossroads and you don't know which decision to make.
No, I don't feel like I'm at crossroads. I feel
You don't feel like you're at crossroads.
No, I feel like I know where my life is going. I'm happy with that.
So that's not you. Wavy lines means you make good decisions and you make bad decisions, good and bad, because it's going up and down.
Yeah,
up and down.
that would be true. I do make a lot of good and bad decisions.
Star means you've achieved everything.
I think you can always achieve more no matter how much you've achieved in life. But okay, yeah, I can see that one.
Yeah. Square means you think outside the box.
Okay.
And then back to circle, right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna give the cards a cut, a few quick cuts like this, and this like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Now what I want you to do is I want you to touch anyone.
That one there.
That one.
Yeah.
So what do you think your life is?
I'm very happy with my life. I'm very, very happy with my life. Yeah.
So that's
Good kids, good wife, good dog.
So I think that's you.
You think this is me?
Yeah. That's what I think you are.
Well, I picked it. This is me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. This is you. That's what you think you are.
Ryland. It's a penis.
Yeah. Exactly.
What do you mean exactly?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Ryland! Can't believe you performed that. I just cannot believe you performed that. Look, this is what it is. If you're a juvenile 10-year-old, then this is probably worth its weight in gold, even though it's 18 plus. If
What,
you
just walk over to a random guy on the street. No.
Yeah.
These are the different ways you can feel. Now, this is you. And then just run away.
created a monster. It's
you're
look.
you're
Here's the
monster.
thing. It's self-working. It's easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's packed small. It plays big. You can't do this for everybody. This is the sort of place that this is the sort of trick that you pull out in a military base where you've got a bunch of lads going around that have been drinking, that want you to do the sort of magic where you're taking the mick out of each other. This is that sort of trick. This is not the sort of trick that you do at a wedding to the the parents, the bride and groom. This is not the trick that you do to the lady who's having her 80th birthday party. This is not the trick that you do to little Doreen's 6th birthday. This is not the trick that you do in your restaurant residency where the mom and dad have bought little Jimmy in.
It's for those teenagers. You perform it to those teenagers.
I wouldn't do it to teenagers. I'm sure you would. This is the sort of trick.
No. If you get an adult to perform.
If I did this to teenagers, I'd get arrested. This is the sort of trick that you perform to. This is the sort of trick that you would perform to, like I say, military bases. People that are drunk. If I get a residency in a nightclub, this is going with me. Absolutely 100%. Look, it is what it
It
is.
looks like you've got a line on your glasses.
I haven't. I'm not going to...
It's like a little character that looks like a line on.
Is it?
No, there. It's like the red thing there.
Yeah, so, yeah, kind of a little bit. I'm going to give this, 85% right time, right place. You can't give this more than 79%. You are not allowed to perform this. Your mom has told you can't perform
95.
them. What?
95.
You can't do that. Can't do that. Give it
95.
79. No,
95.
you're not allowed to do it.
95.
Not allowed to do it.
95.
Not allowed to do it.
95.
Not allowed to do it.
It's 95, Michael.
Michael, it's 79% because he's not doing it. It's 79% from Ryland. I'm putting my foot down.
No,
It's
not.
90%.
Yeah.
Michael, it's 79%. It's 79%
He says
from
95
Ryland.
in case
He's
you
not
didn't
doing
hear.
it for another 8 years, Michael. It's 79%. He can change the rating in 8 years' time. It's 79% from Ryland.
Michael, it's not. In case you didn't hear him, he said it was 95.
It's 79%, Michael. It's 90% from
95.
me. It's very good for
Michael,
the right time, right place.
Just put up 79 plus 16.
Let's move on and wrap this show up.
That's another issue in the back. Another issue in the back. Another issue in the back.
It is another review.
That really hurt my hand.
Try not to break your hand. It is another review show in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me right here on
Jesus
Magic
Christ.
TV. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Again, like last week.
Can I wrap it up again?
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget, if you want to follow Ryland on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, he is Ryland the Kid Magician. If you want to follow us, it's Magic TV. If you want to join the Netrix, it's www.thenetrix.com. And we'll be back again next Wednesday with another review show right here on Magic TV. What's your joke?
Right, Daddy.
It's not. Look. Last time you made me say ICP or whatever it is. Please don't.
ICP.
Okay, yeah.
Daddy, say I hate happiness without the H's.
I ate a penis. Oh.
You ate yourself because of the last trick. You ate yourself. Ate himself. Daddy, are you smart?
Yes.
Spell it.
SMA.
Obviously not, because you can't spell it.
Wrap it up, Ryland. Wrap it up.
You can't spell it.
Say bye, Ryland.
You can't spell it.
I'll see you next week.
I said spell it.